Hello friends, I'm Mrs. Pushpalata Rahul Shinde, lecturer of English from Aryan College of Arts, Commerce and Science, Camp Pune. As per the new syllabus of the HSC board, section 2 contains poetry. Earlier you have studied many poems in your earlier education, but now we are going to discuss about the poetry, its meaning, definition and importance. First we'll discuss about the meaning of the poetry. Poetry is an art form in which human language is used for its aesthetic qualities in addition to or instead of its notional and semantic content. It consists largely of oral or literary works in which language is used a manner that is felt by its user and audience to differ from ordinary prose. It may use condensed or compressed form to convey emotion or ideas to the reader's or listener's mind or ear. It may also use devices such as assonance and repetition to achieve musical effects. Poems frequently rely for their effect on imagery, word association, and the musical qualities of the language used. The interactive layering of all these effects to generate meaning is what marks poetry. Now we'll discuss about the definition of the poetry. Poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. It takes its origin from emotion recollected in tranquility by William Wordsworth. It is not thought about. Poetry seems to be what ensues after a riot of thoughts and emotions in your mind and heart. It is mellifluous and stops when it knows it has to, and this is possible in a tranquil state, one that soothes your mind and calms your senses. Such tranquility is food for contemplation and gives way to pensiveness. Some other definitions by the eminent poet. As per William Hazlitt, poetry is the language of the imagination and the passions. As per A. Houseman, it is not to transmit though, but to set up in the reader's sense a vibration corresponding to what was felt by the writer. It is the peculiar function of poetry. As per the Christopher Fry, poetry is the language in which man explores his own amazement. As per the Thomas Hardy, poetry is emotion put into measure. Now we'll discuss about the importance of poetry in our day-to-day life. Throughout history, poets have used languages to express their thoughts, feelings, ideas, and perspectives by using rhythm, rhyme, meter, and line breaks. Poets have addressed everything from the nature of love or the beauty of a spring day to complex social issues. By studying poetry, middle and high school students can gain a greater understanding not only of literature and language but of themselves and the world they live in. The importance of poetry is language awareness. Poetry can increase students' literacy and linguistic awareness. Studying poetry can help students to expand their oral and written vocabularies. Reading and writing poetry also helps students to become more aware of the ways in which language can be used and the rhythms, images, and meanings that can be created. The critical analysis of poetry. Studying poetry can increase the skills of critical analysis. Poems use a variety of techniques, metaphor, imagery, rhyme, and meter to convey meaning. By identifying these techniques and thinking about how they function in the poem, students can develop their analytic and critical skills. Poems can also have multiple layers of meanings that readers must analyze carefully to understand. The next importance of the poetries are creativity and enthusiasm. Students can become enthusiastic about poetry in the classroom, connecting their reading experiences to their experiences of music and their own lives. Allowing students to write poetry for a class encourages them to express themselves creatively. Though some students may not be motivated by writing academic papers, poetry allows them to play freely with words, rhythms, and ideas. For example, Lewis Carroll's poem Jabberwocky uses made up words like mimsy and borogoves to play creatively with rhythm, sound, and languages. And the most importance of learning poetry is community development. Poetry in the classroom helps students to connect to others. Poetry encourages students to view the complexities of the world in new ways and to develop empathy and understanding for other points of view. For instance, Elizabeth Bishop's In the Waiting Room describes a girl's experience of the deep connections that exist between people and her discovery of what held us all together or made us all just one. Discussing poetry in the classroom can also help to promote connections between students, encouraging them to think about the different ways that their classmates interpret the poems. So that's why, friends, it is very important to learn poetry. Thank you.